there's not much on YouTube about them. Pretty much just for care and what they eat and just how to take care of baby snails after they hatch. So first thing is right after they hatch, they're gonna need like a tank like this size, or you could even do like a Tupperware container, or even a little bit smaller tank than this. But I got this size because I want them to have enough room, like as they grow, until they get really big, obviously. Then I'll change the tank. But for now, like a tank this big is good. And then they also are going to need a filter because they need oxygen flowing into the tank. Now what I do is I feed them like once or twice a day because there's a lot of them and they need a lot of food. I feed them spinach leaves. This is a spinach leaf. Broccoli. I also give them algae wafers. And I give them fruit and vegetables pretty much. Blueberries, carrots, bananas. They love bananas. Just a little tiny piece though of bananas. Any fruit or vegetable pretty much. They also need some type of calcium, which they can get from the spinach leaves or the whatever vegetables and that they eat. But you could also give them a cuttle bone, a piece of a cuttle bone. They sell this at like Petco. You could I just cut off a little piece off the top and that's it, floating right there. This is like pure calcium, so they can chew on that, and then it'll help their shells harden and help them grow bigger. Mine are about a month old. They're getting pretty big. Some of them are getting pretty big. Some of them are younger than a month old because this is two separate hatches. So the bigger ones are like about a month old, and then the smaller ones are more on the bottom. But they're about like a week and a half, 2 weeks old maybe. I forget. That's the mom. And the dad's in here too. He's probably hiding inside of the thing right here. I don't see him. Where are you, Gary? But anyways, yeah, like I said, they could eat any fruits and vegetables pretty much. They love to eat real food rather than the algae thins. I mean, they prefer real food, but they'll still eat the algae thins if they don't have another choice. But for the most part, they want to eat the stuff that we eat. They want real food. They don't want fake stuff. And for the water changes, now this is the thing, when you feed them fresh food like this, you're gonna have to clean their tank out a lot more, because their tank gets really dirty, especially if you leave the food in for like a day or two. I clean their cage out every 2 days. And what I do is, let me go get this thing that I have. Alright, this is how I clean their tank out. I would go in like the bathtub. I have this thing. It's like a separator for like fish, when fish give birth. And I put this in the bathtub, and then what I do is I take the whole entire tank, take the filter out of course, and swipe any snails that are on it, because there's always going to be some snails on it. So make sure that you swipe all of those off. And then you take that out, and you take the whole tank, and you have this in the bathtub, and then I dump the water into here, and all of the snails come falling out. And I have the bathtub running so that there's constant water flow while they're sitting in this thing, just so I can get all the guck and poop and stuff out of the rocks. I rinse the rocks out really good, and there's going to be snails in the rocks as you do this. but they'll be fine because they go inside of their shell, so they're protected if the rocks are on them or whatever. And they can get out from underneath the rocks as well. They can survive pretty rough things. But yeah, so then I keep rinsing it out, and I keep like running the water over the rocks just to get all the extra gook out, and just keep filtering it out through this thing, keep dumping the water in here, so any snails that fall out will fall in here and they'll be protected and they won't go down the drain. And then what I do is I rinse them off under the water in this thing so that any gook comes out, and then I'll take them out like this, or I'll just kind of like dump them back in. But the thing is that some of the stuff, like the gook, is going to be stuck on here, so you got to be careful when you dump them back in. And then for the water, they don't need like any fresh water or whatever. I haven't been boiling their water before, like I use it, or using the stuff to get like the tap out of the water. You don't really have to use that. You can use that if you prefer, but they don't need to do that. They'll be fine without that. So yeah, just change the waters every 2 days because there's going to be a lot of gook in it. I just changed it today, so it's not too bad. And also for calcium, you could also use eggshells. You can crack eggshells and rinse them off really good, or use the shells from a hard-boiled egg and just break the shell up and just drop it in the tank, and they'll eat that to get calcium as well. I think I covered pretty much everything. If you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Alright, thanks for watching.